Hey everyone, it's Alan over at Cobblers Plus, and we got kind of an interesting one today that you don't see too often necessarily. Some of you might be more familiar with it, but it's not one that you see too often in general, and I thought I had to do a video on it. So, as you can tell, I got a bag here. What kind of bag? Well, the red should give it away fairly well. So, come join us, check out what we're doing on it. Thank you again for joining us, and like I'd mentioned, the red should really give it away. It's a Christian Louboutin bag, right there. Alright everyone, so it's time to go ahead and start taking this guy apart, and it's a little bit of like a puzzle, in other words, with this this particular bag. So we're going to start on the inside, just makes it a little bit easier. There are a couple of tacks. There's couple on each side up here and a couple on the bottom here, and they're just like little small tacked areas, so we gotta undo those first. Sorry, I wish I can angle this a little bit better for everyone to see, but it's just a tiny bit hard. So now with the straps, to make sure that they go on the same way, because one of them, I'll show you on the new ones, because one of these, so you can see that these are plain right there, but the other side, one says made in Italy, the other one Christian Louboutin. Alright, got interrupted there, but I was talking about that right there with the made in Italy and Christian Louboutin labels. It's just kind of nice to make sure that they match up like original as best as possible. But anyways, I'll undo little tabs there. I have to swap out this razor. I really have to be careful not to cut anything. That one's a little tough there. Either my razor's worn out or something. There we go. Alright, so we've got that back end undone. Now this section right here, so I'll probably end up switching out my razor here because this thing is getting dull. A lot of times people like to use the good, I could switch it around actually. A lot of times people like to use the Tailor ones and everything that are more squared off. I like these personally because they've got a sharper tip that helps get in places. So okay, I hope they didn't use glue. No, it doesn't look like it. Just felt like it for a second, so make sure that opens up. And then looks like they did stitch this whole tab down right there, that whole section there. Okay. There we go. As soon as you get the first couple of stitches going, works great. But they did use a double-sided tape in here just to, looks like, hold it in position, which is great. We'll probably be doing that the same way. Well, we will be. That double-sided tape there, it's a small, thin adhesive tape designed for leather work and alterations and all that, to just long enough hold everything to get it ready to stitch down. There we go. And voila. I was a little concerned thinking that I might have to open up and remove these straps, but thankfully they weren't as bad of an issue as I anticipated. So I'm going to do the same thing on all the other sides, but real quick I'll just kind of give you an idea. Right there, removing all the old threads. Old threads must be removed. It's a horrible job when threads are not removed. It just looks horrible. And I've seen a number of places that do that all the time. I've seen seamstresses do that frequently, and it is not a quality thing to do. Make sure all the stitches are removed, especially on a bag like this. There we go. So I'll just undo the rest and then just finish pulling up all these stitches, and I'll see you back here in just a little bit to let you see what the rest of the work is going to look like, getting everything secured on there, temporary obviously, with that double-sided tape that we use. So I'll see you back in just a few. Alright everyone, so it looks like from the factory they actually have a little bit of double-sided tape, at least on the little corner piece like this. See that little yellow tab right there? You just peel that and stick it. It's not very strong double-sided tape, so I still have to kind of hold it down a fair amount. And I've got it on here. I haven't taken off the other strap. I was actually going to leave it on to make sure and I can find where all the indications are of which direction everything's going, because it's actually kind of late here, and I may have to finish out the rest of this in the morning. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and stitch this up real quick. So this is our clay patch machine that has a swivel arm, so we're able to twist this easily and go whichever direction we need to. It fits into those nice tight spaces very easily and efficiently. There we go. Right now what we're doing is locking the stitch here, so we go the opposite direction of where we're going, just a couple of stitches. Clip that in there. And then that way the stitches don't come unraveled on us. And it looks like Louboutin does the same exact thing on a lot of their stuff as well. Man, that double-sided tape just does not like to cooperate. I feel weird trying to do this just because of that double-sided tape. It doesn't like me, or it doesn't like the patent leather, I guess. And it's a little hard because I've got the camera stand here in the way as well on top of it all. Can't really swing my elbow out. So I'm gonna have to stitch up the rest of them off camera. But I want to show everybody what it looks like. If I can get this stitched up just for you guys on camera, I'll be happy. And hopefully you are too. So if you're happy that I'm showing this, definitely hit that thumbs up button. Definitely appreciate that. Ooh, almost bent the needle there, because it wants to slide around and everything. Now obviously we're only stitching just this tab right now. Once I have it off the stitcher, I'll be able to show you what I mean by that flap that goes on the inside of the bag is going to be stitched down later separately. Okay. Now lift up the foot, go back the other way, couple of stitches, there we go. Alright, a lot harder with that camera in the way. Alright everyone, so I thought it was recording, but it turns out my camera went a little wonky, so having to redo it. But what I mentioned, we stitched down this piece already that you saw. Now we got to stitch down this flap on the inside, but we're doing it on the opposite one. I did the first stitch already to kind of give you an idea. It's a little tack that goes right there in the corner. Then we got to put one up here, and then one right there. There's not much to it. I had to readjust the machine to do a longer stitch, and then we'll just kind of jump back and forth. Hopefully I can get it on camera, at least for you guys a little bit. But okay, I've got a strap up here that kind of holds this lever that pushes the foot down. This is to help it jump around. It's what's called a jump stitch. So it helps us with doing also what we call a cross stitch. To make it simpler, in other words, we call it a zigzag stitch a lot of times, because there are some cases where we have to do something that's not, you know, nice looking per se. In some cases where we have to do a little bit of a zigzag type stitch in order to keep certain costs down. Any kind of nylon work as well involves having to do like a zigzag type pattern stitch on the material anyways to reinforce it. But that's why we got a strap here. Might have to get a couple of different lengths going. All right, feed that line through so I'm not forcefully pulling it. Clip the ends there, and pull the back end out. It's a little bit more difficult to do with a camera, obviously, just because the camera is kind of in the way and I don't want to elbow it or anything like that. So I'm going to take my lighter, burn the nylon threads just a little bit. There we go. And then on the inside there. Now, most of the threads in any kind of bag are nylon, but I still don't recommend you doing this at home if you see any kind of thread sticking out, just because this particular bag, for example, is a patent leather, so you got to keep in mind that kind of heat can potentially damage that patent leather finish. So if you're not comfortable with it, just take it to a cobbler. They'll be able to take care of the fraying. Just do a little bit of TLC work, maybe clean up the bag and everything, and while you're in there, and touch up all the threads. But otherwise, majority of the time, you can just take a lighter to it and just burn the threads, and they'll melt because they are, after all, nylon. I'll show you with this one here. See, it melts. Ooh, that's hot. Little chunk there that melted off, and it's pretty warm. Burnt my finger, but there we go. So I just got to do that all the way around. I left this original strap in there for now, just to make sure I got everything in the proper positions and spots. Now I'm going to go through and do the other side of this one that we already started and take it from there. I don't know if that was caught on camera, but like I said, this piece right here has a little adhesive patch there. You just peel and stick that. It's like a double-sided tape. The opposite side doesn't have it, so I used my own on that one just to make sure it doesn't slide around on me while stitching it and everything. And yeah, if you're wondering, that unevenness there, that's not from me. I didn't stitch that. That's from the factory. So don't blame me on that one if you're seeing that and it's uneven. I know a couple of you cobblers who watch this stuff sometimes are like, hey, you got it uneven there. I didn't do it. That was Louboutin, okay? But yeah, that happens. Anyways, I'll see you back here in just a few. All right, everyone. So we've got all these stitched up and everything ready to go. These are a little bit more of a hassle than I originally thought. In a way, I guess. I did at one point think that I might have to take apart these straps right here with the studs, but thankfully I didn't. I was able to fit everything in between nicely. But I am going to clean this up just a little bit for this bag. Let me just double check my order there. Okay. I mean, it wasn't marked down for cleaning, but gotta touch it up just a little bit at least. So there's these little white scuffs that start to appear. I don't know if the camera will catch it, but if you see right there in the corner, tiny little white scuffs, they're like microscopic scratches, and they occur almost all the time on patent leather. You got to remember that this is a plastic. So we'll go through with a little bit of acetone and touch it up. I'll touch up some of that rubber area there too. Usually you don't want to use too much acetone or anything, or thinners of any kind to clean patent leather. It can potentially melt it and stuff, and you don't want to do that, obviously. But enough to touch up some of these little white marks, that's perfect, because lighter cleaners don't really do too much. Okay. Let's see. That just a little bit. That is a rubber pad there, so we're good. Clean that. Okay, and then the other stuff that I really like, and this one is a lighter cleaner for sure, is this stuff here, tannery. Comes in handy a lot of times for just like a little bit of spot cleaning on patent leather, just lightly. It's not like a stronger patent leather cleaner, but it just does enough where it kind of helps finish out some stuff and makes it shine back up just somewhat. It's mainly those spots that I was working on as far as the thinner goes. But anyways, before I keep blabbering, because obviously I talk way too much in my videos, and some of you say I don't really talk too much, but this one's a short one because there's not much else to it. I mean, I could have shown the, every step-by-step process of, how I do each strap, but all the straps were identical, as far as the way they were stitched in and everything. So we stitched around. If I pull one of these guys back, they're kind of in there now, but around the back here we stitched all the way around, at least the bottom area, and then on the insides we got these little tacks all around. That's just how they were stitched on. See right there, little tacked areas. So basically that's it. That's how this bag was originally stitched. The way this one closes, if anybody's curious, also if you're looking for a Christian Louboutin bag and you like this one has a little hook, kind of like that, hook and D-ring, and it's kind of hard again with the camera, and just hooks in like that. That's all the way it closes. I mean, it's kind of a simple design, nothing too crazy, but at the same time, sometimes simple is beautiful. So this thing's all ready to go. I'm gonna give the lady a call. I did blow the inside out multiple times with compressed air. I tried actually getting in there with the vacuum hose too. I did that off camera. There was a lot of like little lint and dust and all this kind of stuff. I was trying to do a little bit extra, but there are some corners that are just really in there, and this thing would basically need a proper bath. She opted out for the full treatment like that, but we got the straps at least taken care of, and I'm sure she's going to be happy with the results on those. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Please try to stick to shorter questions if so. If it's a really long and detailed question, definitely shoot us an email. You can send it at procobblers@gmail.com, or you can go to our website, CobblersPlus.com, and contact us through there. You can give us a call, or if you're local here in the Denver area, stop on by. Otherwise, if you enjoyed the video, again, I talk too much, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't already. Share the video if anybody needs a bag done. We do repair a lot of other leather goods, bags, jackets. We do a lot of zipper work, belts. We get chaps and sometimes even boat tarps and stuff. Reason why we get so many odd different things is because we have the equipment to do it. So don't think that, oh, he's doing a little bit of everything. Yes, obviously we do a little bit of everything because we have the capability of doing so. Can't really take something like this to a tailor. They're not really going to do something like that, or even a boat tarp, because their machines can't handle some of those. But we get interesting jobs in all the time. I just can't post all of them. I know some of you are going to be saying like, hey, you should post some of those interesting ones. It's a little hard to do, as you can tell, even just with this bag, which is not extremely large. It's kind of hard to get that camera angle without knocking over the camera and everything. But the bag was just big enough, and I was like, it's a Christian Louboutin bag. I think it deserves its own video. So again, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.